What's up, everybody? This is Mark, Waist Deep Wade Fishing, Southwest Florida. I do apologize here for the lawnmowers going crazy in the background. Hopefully you can hear what I say. Today, a topic I think many people don't discuss because of the options that they have, via kayak and also boat. So what we want to do is talk about why a grass flat would be good to fish on and why a grass flat would be bad to fish on. What you're looking for when you get to this grass flat that would tell you, okay, there could be possibly fish here. And what would tell you that maybe I should go to another location. Before we do that, I want to just again say thank you to everyone for liking, subscribing, and sharing. And please, if you are new to the channel and you do view my content and you find it interesting and you find it helpful, make sure hit that like button, also hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell. By hitting that notification bell and putting those settings to on, what's going to happen is every time I put out a video, you will be notified and that video will be put into your viewing settings and will let you know that I have put out new content. So with that being said, let's get into it and let's discuss, when is this flat good to fish or when is it not to fish? So we're going to go with the first option. When is it not good to fish? What are the telltale signs that you need to get the hell out of there because this flat is garbage and it's not going to have fish and you are wasting your time? So you get to the flat, first thing you see, water clarity. It's not looking too good. It has maybe a chocolate milk consistency. It's choppy. Wind is at your face. Just doesn't look like it may be holding fish. Now, it's not necessarily true just because the water is not, at 100% clarity. It could be at 40% clarity, and you still may be able to pull a snook or a redfish out of there. Trout, a little bit, down here in Southwest Florida, when that water is really silted up in chocolate, chocolate milk like, the trout aren't going to be there. They're going to head to clearer water where there's more oxygen, less silt, because that silt is going to get in their gills. And that goes with snook and redfish as well, especially here in Southwest Florida. In Louisiana and in Texas, it's a little bit different. So that's one of the things that if you see, it may be, it's a telltale sign that you might want to go to a different location. Next, obviously, if the water looks okay and you're walking the grass flat and you're seeing potholes and, everything looks all right, but you haven't seen any bait. You haven't seen birds diving. You haven't seen cormorants, feeding. It just doesn't look like there's signs of life. If you see just water and nothing going on, well, it could be one of two things. A, you don't have moving water, or B, there's no bait that had pushed onto that flat yet because of tide or wind. And C, it's plain and simple, there's just no bait on that flat at this moment. They may be on another flat. So that sign right there would tell you maybe you want to move in a different direction. Another thing to look for, and if you don't have this factor, you might want to move to a different flat. When choosing a flat, you want to find a grass flat that's fairly close to a pass, where water is coming in and out, from the ocean into the backcountry, from the backcountry out to the ocean. You're looking for that. If you're on just a flat that is just a barren flat and there's grass and there's really not much water movement, there's no points, you don't see a lot of oyster, There's no sandbar near it, no ambush points. That might be a flat that you want to skip. Now, I'm not saying to not go out there and try, but when you have optimal conditions, the right wind, you see bait on the water, it doesn't necessarily have to be near a flat or have points on it. They could still be holding fish in potholes. By all means, try it. But if you have something better with more moving water, near a pass, tons of potholes and bait, diving birds, cormorants in the water, if you've seen dolphins feeding there, chances are there's going to be fish on that flat. And last but not least, another one of the factors that will tell you to get off that flat is if it's just plain grass. If you don't see any type of potholes and just straight grass, and there's no edges or there's no ledges near the grass, and you walk the line and you just can't see any things that would have a spot for a fish to ambush, well, that's going to tell you, if they've got nowhere to hunt, occasionally you'll have a redfish just sitting in the grass. But 9 out of 10 times, these fish want ambush points. They want foraging grounds. They want potholes. They want drop-offs. They want oyster bars. They want moving water. They want to be near a pass. They want to have that clean water coming in, from the ocean. If you don't see any of those factors, it's time to find a different flat. Now, on the other side of that, now we'll get into when the flat is the right flat. When you get to a flat, and if you show up in the morning, and one of the ultimate signs is the birds. If you walk out onto a flat as the sun is coming up and you're seeing pelicans and cormorants and birds diving in the water, hitting bait, and you see bait popping and mullet schools and mullet jumping around, and it's just that flat is full of life, well, my friends, you guys hit the jackpot, because that is where the fish are. So I would spend as much time as possible working that flat methodically, in and out, everything that you've learned, as far as lures, as far as technique, use every one of those steps and work that flat, do it quietly, and I guarantee you that you're going to get bit. Now, it's up to you if you're going to land the fish, but you will get bit by a snook, a redfish, or a trout. And another factor that also will tell you, hey, this flat is looking good, that water movement. You might go to some flats that are just outside of the tide line, so that flat just doesn't see a lot of moving water. So if you can know this flat, or you go to this flat and you can feel the current running across you, and you can look at the grass and see that the grass is being pushed over by moving water, by all means. Even if you don't see bait moving and you don't see birds diving, but you have that moving water coming over that grass, and you see potholes and you see ambush points, stay at that flat. It's just a matter of time before the fish show up for a free meal. And I'm going to throw one more freebie at you, and I'll give one of my secrets out. One of the things that helped me, it's the 2 P's, and this is something that I've had to learn over the years. The first P, patience. The second P, persistence. Okay, remember those 2. It's called fishing, not catching. Have the patience to get out there. Okay, don't get upset. Don't get all flustered because you're not catching a fish the first 2 hours that you're there. Okay, if you follow what I tell you and you use all of the guided information that I put on my YouTube, okay, with that patience and the persistence and that not give up attitude, keep searching, keep walking, be stealthy, use the info I give you, and I guarantee you, you will find the fish. It's just a matter of time. All right, guys, with that being said, I love you all. Thank you so much for all of the beautiful comments and the great positivity that you're throwing in my direction to keep me pushing forward, to keep going out there and creating this content to help you, the angler, be a better fisherman. Love you all. See you on the next video.